The Transportation Department is slashing up to 10% of flights at 40 high-traffic airports across the country starting today. FlightAware says 850 flights have already been canceled, and travelers are feeling the impact.
People are just waiting. It's been awful.
The flight from Cincinnati to here was delayed an hour. No reason why.
It's concerning. I mean, because like we're flying into LaGuardia, which is busier than Milwaukee.
It adds a great amount of stress to everyone involved, the people flying, but also the people that are in charge of making sure that we travel safely.
Be patient. Be very patient. Expect delays.
Good advice. Of course, this is all happening just days before Americans head out for the Thanksgiving holiday. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy was at Reagan Airport in Washington this morning with a message for lawmakers on Capitol Hill.
Those who vote to keep the government shut down will come to an airport and they should introduce themselves to the travelers and ask them if it's worth it. Is their delay worth it? Is their cancellation worth it? And I think the resounding answer to that will be no.
NBC News correspondent Priscilla Thompson joins me now from George Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston. Priscilla, Houston is one of the airports on that list of 40 that's being forced to cut flights. What is the situation like today for travelers where you are?
Yeah, Vicki, those TSA lines that you see behind me are starting to grow. And I will tell you, we've spoken to a lot of passengers this morning who were expecting to show up to an absolute nightmare here at the airport. And they've actually been pleasantly surprised because the line has been moving, and so far their flights have been on time. Now, that may be because we know that the airlines were starting to notify people that their flights were going to be canceled already. United has notified customers through Sunday and rebooked them if they were canceled. So it may just be that those people are not showing up to the airport, and so they're not the people that we are talking to. But there's also, of course, the staffing issues that are being dealt with here at Bush Intercontinental. We know that over the weekend, the Houston airports announced that they were going down to only 2 TSA checkpoints at 2 terminals, and we saw extremely long lines wrapped around the terminals here, some people waiting up to 5 hours to make their flights. So people today not taking chances, arriving early, as TSA and the Houston airport system say they expect there could be up to an hour to wait to get through TSA checkpoints. But so far, things are moving fairly smoothly here this morning.
Well, that is good news, Priscilla. As we understand it, the 10% traffic cuts to these flights, that's not happening all at once, right? So lay out what this next week is expected to look like in terms of flight reductions.
Right. So Transportation Secretary Duffy says that this is going to be a staggered approach. They're starting today with 4%. Tomorrow, that number is going to increase to 5%. And by the time we get to next Friday, if the shutdown is still going on, it is going to be a 10% flight reduction across these 40 busiest airports. And so that is what people have to expect. We know that today that 4% has meant more than 600 flights canceled across American, Delta, United, and Southwest. So that gives you a sense of what that could look like if that number jumps up to 10% by next Friday. And Secretary Duffy also said this is not going to be an overnight switch as soon as the government reopens. It is going to take time to get these folks back into their positions, back into work. And so it could collide very closely with that Thanksgiving holiday travel.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.